Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Von here. This is the Fashion Innovation feed. I am back with some amazing, fantastic, interesting news just regarding Roblox. I'm going to be talking about what is new in the Roblox world. Now, if you are familiar with Roblox, it's not just for fashion. It is really a platform that people go on, specifically Generation Z, going on there for entertainment, gaming, hanging out with friends, and purchasing digital assets. But now that is actually changing, apparently, as you can now purchase physical items there as well as getting the digital versions of that as well. Now, this is not necessarily anything new, as we have explored that with different things, but for Roblox, the platform that was initially made to be digital only is actually quite an interesting turn of events. So, why is this happening? We'll get there, but for now, subscribe if you haven't already so you can get more news like this as we continue on this fashion journey together. So if we just take a quick step back and to see where all of this is coming from. So currently Roblox has 97.8 users as we speak, and which is an amazing number considering we've had our kind of guesses at what's happening with metaverse. Now, that doesn't mean these are all users that are just focused on fashion, but that is a great number of users to expose to fashion, right? So that's one side. But within the fashion world, we have seen a decline of, those brands that are actually using metaverse as one of their platforms with channels to sell, whether it's digital assets or just, interacting with their customers. So now seeing this turn of events and having some brands actually on board for this is quite an interesting move. Now, with this many people, you would obviously want to get yourself in front of them, especially as they are the Generation Z. So the global brand and partnerships of Roblox has actually spoken to Vogue and has been expressing how this was literally kind of like the logical next step, which I would definitely agree, just from what we've seen with this decline of fashion brands actually really interacting with the metaverse as much as we would have expected. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean there's none that are, there aren't any that are actually engaging and doing anything in the metaverse, but we did expect a little bit more. So what does this mean now? So what this means is that we have brands such as Fenty who are now selling on Roblox, and specifically one of their popular lip glosses, and that one actually is being sold exclusively on Roblox. And what this means is that you can actually purchase this on there as well as get the physical one. So this whole platform really is just about interacting with the avatar, especially when it comes to fashion. What can your avatar wear? And in this case, a lip gloss, but also clothing, obviously, when we talk about the other brands as well. Now, is that something that I think everyone will be on board for? Well, actually, according to the global brands partnership role person of Roblox, they actually did mention that this is still early days, so we do have to kind of wait and see where this goes. Now, if we just kind of look at it from completely back, this does really show how much is needed to get into the physical world. Like, we can't get rid of that. This is something I've always said. So if you guys have seen my book, if you haven't purchased it, hello, where are you? So I'll put the details in the description, but also on the screen. So obviously in that book, I was talking a lot about how the metaverse is a great platform for brands, any fashion brands, to get their stuff in the metaverse and to be able to have this digital assets that people have really valued, especially with NFTs. So people have been purchasing this, and in 2022 we saw this dress that was sold for thousands, so that kind of shocked everybody, but it did also show the potential that the metaverse had. So now we have to see what happened kind of in between. Well, we already know that less and less brands were kind of using it. We saw Metaverse Fashion Week, less and less people were on there. There were a lot of glitches when I was on it anyway, but that was kind of like, that was what was happening. But as we're kind of progressing, let's see how this goes. It's all a case of, are people going to be more inclined to make these purchases because they can see it on their avatars first as kind of like a virtual try on, or are they just going to still say it as like a game? Because that's what it is, really. I really do think it's a fantastic strategy because in this way you can actually encourage brands to come on board. They have nothing to lose, really. Obviously, they can onboard their team and or get externals to create all the digital assets for them, but they don't really have much else to lose just besides that. So they can only gain from this, because they're gaining potentially, or at least tapping into the 97.8 users who can obviously then buy the physical things. I do think this is definitely the best case scenario for the metaverse, because then we're merging something that, is playful and, kind of entertainment purposes versus something that we can actually wear in real life. Because, I've always said that at least merging those worlds can always give us a little bit more value, well, depending on what you guys value. So actually, if you are watching this and you use Roblox, will this encourage you to buy a lot more outfits on there, or will it discourage you, in fact, because now you see it on your avatar, maybe you don't want it? Or will you just stick to buying the digital, or the last option, will you just stick to buying the physical items? Well, let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to speaking to you guys again about the next interesting innovation. Bye.